You want to know something? I had recorded 3 videos talking about the Odyssey with music in the background, intending for it to be quiet, but then it was too loud. So here we go. I'm recording them all again. Now you know my secret. Hey, so today I watched the Odyssey and I have some thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, but 3 big themes. I read the book, I read the Odyssey, the Iliad, and the Aeneid, and I've studied the mythology. I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I'm not going to be talking about the actors or any controversy. I'm talking about the plot and how it's all a big metaphor. That being said, if you don't want spoilers, I recommend that you leave now and come back later when you do have some thoughts and you have seen it or you've read it and you have some opinions to share so we can discuss. Okay, bye. So there's going to be 3 videos about this, and one I know will be longer. This is one of 3, so make sure to look out for the other 2 while you're here. So one of them I want to tap into is humanity, empathy, and compassion, and humanizing others. The first thing that comes to mind with this is the Cyclops. We know the story of Odysseus. He and his men go on a different course, they get lost and go island hopping, and they end up trapped in the Cyclops cave. On their quest to get out, but to also not have any of them eaten, they blind the Cyclops. And when it's hurt, it's writhing around in pain and groaning and crying out to Poseidon. Cyclops are the children of Poseidon, and this happens frequently in Greek mythology that the gods have children with mortals or other gods, and they are wandering around Earth. But when it's crying out and calling for its father, Odysseus' men realize, whoa, it can talk. Like, just like we can talk. And they start to relate to it. And later, when it chases them to their boat and they're leaving, it looked genuinely sad, like actually hurt. Another example is when Odysseus is on Circe's island, he shoots a deer and then comes upon it and sees it was actually a man. And he's like, ooh, what have I done? He has this thing where he like plucks the string of his bow so that whatever he's hunting has like a fair chance to get away. Like it has a chance to escape or live another day, fight for its life. And frequently throughout the movie, Odysseus is reflecting on the Trojan War and all of the violent way that it unfolded, and he has a different perspective because he's had some time to think about it, and he actually did notice, oh, there's Trojan citizens, there's women and children, they're about to be abused, they're probably going to be killed, and he's recognizing the value of life. Part of their journey was to go to Hades, and he needed to get some information from Tiresias, but they were confronting the dead, and he heard their testimony, and many of them didn't feel honored. And he's like, I didn't have time to bury you because I had to survive and keep moving. I had to take the people who were still alive. We had to leave. And he like doesn't want to take responsibility with that, and that's another video. But he does eventually follow through on that promise to honor the dead because each life has value. So a real world application of this is that if you are perceiving someone as your enemy, or when you place somebody separate from you, or they are othered in a way, it becomes really easy to hurt them. But that doesn't negate or neutralize the fact that that is someone's child. And to borrow a phrase, on earth, we are all children of God. We are all children of the divine power that placed our souls here. So each living thing deserves respect because it's alive. And that respect can be given while it's still alive, or it can be in being thankful for the life that it had, even when it's not alive anymore. I'm being intentionally vague. because this can apply to so many different things in my thinking. But if I have any message to pass on to you, it's to value life. And if there is someone in your life who is bothering you, or you're seeing them as your enemy, at the very least, remember that there's a soul somewhere in there, and they are someone's child. And that's where I'm going to stop. I could go on. I do have a lot more thoughts, but I don't want this to be one-sided. I do want to have interactions. So I want to know, what do you think? What stuck out to you when you saw this movie? Did you notice the humanity, the having of humanity, and humanizing enemies, or did you notice other themes? I have 2 more to share, so go ahead and check those out, and I want to know what you think of those too. If you have watched this far, thank you so much, and if you liked anything that I said, you know what to do, and if you think that somebody else wants to hear this or should hear this, you can share this with them. Thank you.